Case Digest on Smith versus Arizona. Doctrine established in the case. The Confrontation Clause of the Sixth Amendment protects a defendant's right to cross-examine witnesses whose statements are introduced for the truth of the matter asserted. Facts of the case. Law enforcement executed a search warrant at Jason Smith's father's property, where they found drugs in a shed where Smith was present. Smith was charged with multiple drug-related felonies and, despite his defense claiming he was only there to care for his ill father, was found guilty and sentenced to 4 years in prison. On appeal, Smith argued that his confrontation rights were violated due to drug analysis testimony based on data from a non-testifying expert, but the appellate court upheld the conviction. Issue of the case. Whether a substitute expert is allowed to testify using statements from a non-testifying forensic analyst in a criminal trial. Ruling of the case. The Confrontation Clause applies to testimonial hearsay, that is, out-of-court statements introduced for their truth. The key question is whether the non-testifying analyst's lab statements were introduced for their truth or for another purpose. The court rejected Arizona's argument that the statements were only used to show the basis of the non-testifying expert opinion, not for their truth. Evidentiary rules do not control whether a statement is admitted for its truth. This is a constitutional question. When an expert conveys out-of-court statements to support their opinion, and those statements only support the opinion if true, then the statements have been offered for their truth. The jury cannot evaluate the expert's credibility without assessing the truth of the underlying statements. In this case, the expert's testimony relied entirely on accepting the non-testifying analyst's statements as true. His opinions were predicated on the truth of what the analyst reported about her lab work. Therefore, the non-testifying analyst's statements were introduced for their truth, violating Smith's confrontation rights if the statements were testimonial. The court remanded for determination of whether the statements were testimonial by looking at each statement's primary purpose. Impact to the legal system. This case ensures that defendants have the right to confront witnesses against them, particularly in cases where testimonial hearsay is involved. This decision may lead to more stringent requirements for admitting expert testimony and could potentially affect the outcome of many criminal trials.
Learning law is easier with Audio Law Reader. Download now and follow us for more case digests like this.